These cookies are native and famous in Baltimore, but you can make them at home.
Let's see what's cooking. Let's get the facts. Let's see what's cooking. It's time for yoyomax12.
Hello everyone, starting off with the base of the cookie. That's a large bowl, and in that we'll place 1/3 of a cup of butter at room temperature, adding half a cup of white sugar, a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 large egg, and just blend that together until you get something that's nice and creamy. And as you'll see, it's going to get all fluffy and the color is going to change to a very light color. Once you get to that point, we're going to add milk and flour. We're going to add a total of 1/3 of a cup of milk and 1.5 cups of flour, but we're going to add a little bit of each in, say, 3 or 4 additions until it's all combined. So a little milk, a little flour, and then blend until it's all in there. And you'll end up with a fairly soft cookie batter. Now this is what we're going to use, a cookie sheet cover with silicone mat or parchment. I just want to talk about my silicone mats. This particular mat was sent to me by Beth, who is cooking and crafting on YouTube. She sent it to me as a gift back in 2008, and I've been using it since then. So that's 10 years of baking, and as you know, I bake a lot. And the only wear and tear that I could see on this silicone mat was some of the edges are starting to fray a little bit. But other than that, it's in perfect condition. So if you want to make a little investment in baking, get Silpat brand mats. They are awesome. They last just about forever. No, they're not paying me to say that. There's no endorsements or sponsorship here. I just really like them. The only thing I need to try to find, though, is that these silicone mats are made for the smaller cookie sheets, and I've got these larger ones. I'm going to have to see if I can find the larger silicone mat somewhere. Now I'm using a cookie scoop, which is a little bit smaller than an ice cream scoop, and I'm going to scoop mounds of the dough onto the cookie sheet about 2 inches apart, and then you need to flatten them with a glass. Now it started sticking really badly here, so what I did is I just sprayed the bottom of this glass with a little bit of cooking spray, and it was perfect. Just was able to flatten these just a little bit, and then you're going to bake these at 400 degrees for about 10 to 11 minutes until they're just the tiniest bit light brown on the bottom. You don't want to overbake them because you want these to be soft and cake-like. That's the whole idea. Then let them cool. Now we're going to make the topping, which is kind of like a fudge. You're going to place 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips in a bowl. Add to that 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, as well as 1.5 tablespoons of light corn syrup. I put this in the microwave, I heated it up until it was melted, stirred it up, and there it is. And to this, you need to add 1.5 cups of confectioner's sugar. And yeah, I should have picked a bigger bowl. It would have been a lot easier. So I stirred with a spoon a bit, and then I realized that a whisk would be a lot better. And I just whisked this up until it was smooth and there were no more lumps of confectioner's sugar in there. Now take the cooked and cooled cookies. You can see they're just a tiniest bit light brown on the bottom, just a tiny bit. And you're going to dunk the bottoms of these cookies into the fudge. So you dip the bottom in, just going to flip it over, put it onto the cookie sheet. And yeah, your hands are going to get a little messy when you're doing this, but you know, that's what it's going to be like. Not a big deal. You can wear gloves if you wanted to. And there's going to be a lot of this fudge left over once all your cookies are dipped. Don't worry about that, because what we're going to do is we're going to take the rest of that fudge and we're going to spoon it on top of the cookies once they're dipped. Now I watched some YouTube videos of people making these in Baltimore, and they don't do this. They don't dip and then scoop. They just kind of take the cookie and they scoop out a whole bunch of fudge with the cookie, and then that's how it ends up on top. This is a little bit neater method of doing it, but you know what? If you want to scoop, you can do that too. Just let them sit until they're set. And I just wanted to show you the texture here. So you have a soft fudge-like topping, and the cookie itself is between cake and cookie. So it's a little bit soft, it's cake-like. The cookies aren't super sweet, and they kind of offset the very, very rich fudge that's on the top. These are awesome. I actually made these at Christmas time, and I added them to my cookie platter, and people were going for these first because they're just so delicious. I hope that you give these a try. People ask me about what my favorite cookies are on my channel because I do have a lot of them. And this would be in the top 10 of my favorite cookies. They are flourless and dairy free and they're chewy and amazing. Hope you give these ones a try as well. Thanks for watching.